This is Blood's Bloodsaw, and you're watching The Squared Circle.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Night after Hulk Hogan's birthday, we are 1 week away from the greatest event of the whole summer, SummerSlam. I'm your host, Hollywood J. Williams. This is Mr.
John Zimmerman.
John
My name is John Zimmerman.
And
My name is Thunderous Tom Dacey.
very good. And like I said, my name is Hollywood J. Williams. You are watching The Squared Circle here on NHTV Cable 18.
The award-winning Squared Circle.
That's correct. It's out
The
for,
award-winning.
out
Where
for
is the
polishing.
award this week?
it's out
Out
for
being polished.
Out being polished, huh?
Yeah,
Got to keep it clean.
gotta keep it clean.
Got to keep it very clean. Now, I don't know what's going to happen at SummerSlam between John Cena and Brock Lesnar, but we have something advertised for a house show at the Izod Center in New Jersey, September 26th. An advertised main event for John Cena versus Seth Rollins for the title. Right now, as it stands. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that John Cena is going to win the belt. They can always change that. Things change.
Well, I'm praying for Brock Lesnar.
You're praying for Brock Lesnar.
How so?
I want Cena to have a rest for a while. I'm echoing the sentiments of Paul Heyman.
And you never were a Paul Heyman guy.
No.
Until
But now I am.
But now you are. No, I gotta say, I'm gonna be with you on that one because I'm just sick of seeing Cena all the time.
I'll predict Brock Lesnar going over and Cena being injured to the point where he's going to be out for a little while.
Need to give people a break.
But, you know, the thing that I don't like about Lesnar getting the title is that he's a part-timer and you're not going to see him, you know, defend it at all. You probably won't see him in a match until, like, you know, WrestleMania. So are we going to have, like, basically a vacant title until WrestleMania, or is he going to be forced to come out at least every pay-per-view between now and WrestleMania?
Well, whatever his expectations are of his contract, he's going to have to probably step it up a little more than, he's going to have to step up to the plate, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Well, more than likely that's going to happen at WrestleMania. So they're going to have to do something with Brock Lesnar between now and WrestleMania.
Right.
And if he doesn't come out and defend the title, that's why Daniel Bryan got stripped of it, because he wasn't able to defend the title. Well, if you're holding it and you don't come out and defend it, it's the same as not being able to.
Right.
You know.
Not being able to, not wanting to is almost the same thing.
Right. Right. So I don't see where they're going to go with this program if indeed Brock Lesnar gets the belt. Well, we shall see.
Come on, Brock.
Come on, Brock. Apparently he's at 100% now. His diverticulitis issues, whatever, have now been are now behind him.
Yeah.
So the 50% Brock Lesnar that later hurting to John Cena a couple years ago at Extreme Rules is now at 100%.
Yeah.
This is according to Paul Heyman in his own words. And that Brock Lesnar is the guy that's going to be facing John Cena Sunday night at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep, conquer
John Cena.
John Cena.
Love that shirt.
New merch.
New merchandise. I hope they sell it. I hope they sell a lot of them.
I want one.
Almost sounds good. They are like you said, the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That's the biggest rumor for WrestleMania 31 right now.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Roman Reigns getting the title.
Getting
for
the
the first
title.
time. Yeah.
Which I think it's a little early, but I'll take it over Brock Lesnar holding it.
Especially over John Cena holding it.
Yeah.
You know, I
Or
think,
Randy Orton or The Rock.
I
for that
think,
matter.
I think not having a champion at all is a better idea than having John Cena. Then discontinuing the belt altogether and not having anything for anybody to work up towards is a better idea. Not having a face of the company at all is a better idea. Other things going on here, not terribly a lot this week. We're just going to have to basically talk a lot about SummerSlam later, you know, drag it out a little bit. But 2K Sports has announced a new 2K Showcase game mode for the WWE 2K15 video game. Included will be none other than CM Punk in this. The Showcase mode takes gamers through two rivalries: Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, circa 2002 through 2004. CM Punk versus John Cena, 2011 through 2013. The press release, Triple H commented on his feud with Shawn Michaels, did not reference CM Punk at all.
Well, what the general public fails to realize is that these games are in production long before the release date, and the CM Punk character was still a major part of WWE at the time that they were formulating and making this game. Circumstances are unfortunate that CM Punk is no longer with the company for the moment, at least. And all the fans, in the online wrestling community are freaking out, thinking that he's going to come back because he's a major component of the game. Well, like I said, at the point of development of the game, CM Punk was a major player within the company.
Absolutely. Yep.
So here we are, probably 2 years in the making of this game, or at least 1 year in the making, and here we
Even
are.
a year ago, he was a major
Correct.
player in the company until January.
Right. So the game was already in process, and it's not the first time it's happened. With people are in the video game that are no longer with the company. People are on merchandise shirts that are no longer in the company. Action figures are released after the characters that have been let go.
I mean, I haven't played a video game myself since I was probably about this tall. A little Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know anything if this is going to be the greatest video game they've ever had or not.
Every year they do push the envelope a little more. Some years more so than others, but I think since they've switched developers and gaming companies, I liked last year's game. I played it a few times. The boys obviously play it more so than myself, and the whole Road to WrestleMania mode in the last one was something different and new and unique, and I think they're just going to keep getting better. And it just goes with the graphics, and if you look at just the gaming industry at large, going from like just little dots on the screen until, some of the especially the football and the baseball games, the guys actually sweat, and they really look like the guys rather than just like these pixelated figures that we started out with the Atari 2600.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the Atari, and I remember my Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And my Asteroids and my Space Invaders.
Right. So, the gaming industry as a whole has come so far, and, the characters, on the screen, whereas they used to look pixelated and cartoonish, now look like actual live people. The baseball games, which I enjoy most on any of the video games. The guys you look like you're watching an MLB broadcast. It's so cool. Down to the different parks and all that. The detail is just so rich and right there. It's just getting better and better. So I'm looking forward to it.
We'll have to see what happens. Maybe
Definitely.
Do they have the set release date for that?
28th.
October?
October 28th.
October 28th.
October 28th. We can look forward to it. We can look forward to Sting being on that cover, right? Or he's supposed to be.
No, John Cena's on the cover. They
John
had
Cena's
a
on
big
the cover.
reveal. You were only there live when they
Sting
revealed
is
the
in
cover.
Sting is
Sting
in
is
the
in the
game.
game, yeah.
Sting is in the game.
They did reveal the cover for the Sting DVD.
Okay.
So I mean, that you can go online and find. I don't remember the release date for the DVD, but it's the best of Sting, and rumor has it that he'll probably come out at some point to promote that when the DVD release happens. So
That'll be about the time he
Yeah.
finally makes his
yeah,
first appearance on Raw.
definitely.
Finally.
So
I thought we might have seen him last night for Hogan's birthday party.
that was fun.
At least via a message.
It was odd to see Orndorff. When's the last time Paul Orndorff has been involved with
I
WWE?
know. I didn't recognize him either when he came out. I didn't realize it was him at
I
first.
knew it was him because I've seen him in autograph signings, at the big event. You guys probably missed him last time, but yeah, he was at Joe Bruin's event, and I've seen him a few other times. But
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. We
Yeah.
had the NWO reunion, of course. My boys Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash can use some Just for Men.
Yeah, he was great, huh?
Yeah. I've seen him look better not too long ago.
He's looking real gray, looking really old.
Yeah, he let himself go. Looked like he just rolled out of bed or something. And Scott Hall, it's Scott Hall.
Scott Hall's not going to change.
But
No.
how'd you like the surprise Ambrose present?
Yeah, that was predictable. It was kind of weird that he was like walking around and looking at all the presents, and it took him that long to pop out of the box.
Right.
I don't know if he missed a cue or what have you, but it was kind of
It almost looks like he missed the cue.
yeah. It was predictable, and two, it was just
Or Seth Rollins forgot which box he was supposed to be in. I don't know.
well, there weren't too many the size of a human being, so
Right.
but
It's live television.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. You never know what's going to happen.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
You never can tell. Got some sad news to pass along. If anybody ever remembers a guy named Ken Lucas, he mainly wrestled on the Gulf Coast of Florida. He died this week in Florida at the age of 73. Don't really recall the name, being quite honest.
No,
No,
not one I recognize.
Just probably an independent territory. Back in the days of the territories.
yeah, back in
So you're probably talking
at least 10, 15 years ago.
longer than that,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
longer.
At the age of what, 73?
73. He
Yeah.
might have been active in the 50s.
Probably.
60s,
Yeah, going
Cool.
back that far.
Going back that far.
But-
Probably pre-Jim Crockett.
Right.
That's possible. But we got a lot of events leading up to SummerSlam
Yes.
coming up this week. For those of you traveling to the Los Angeles area from here, I wish I would love to go there. I almost wound up there last year.
Oh, yeah.
Funny story I have to tell you on the air.
Oh, okay.
Never been to Hollywood.
So now the truth comes out.
Possibly Hollywood, Florida.
Now the truth comes out.
But I'm Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm a Hollywood legend, even though I've never been there.
Yeah. Well, that's
Because I'm a
quite an
legend in this
accomplishment.
town.
It's quite an accomplishment.
That's it. A lot of events going on. I don't know if this really pertains to it or not. Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be a part of Discovery Channel's Shark Week. Catch it tonight as he appears along with comedian Tom Green. Maybe almost immediately following this broadcast here
Right.
at NHTV.
Right.
The Tom Green Show, I remember that.
Never was a fan.
No, I think
Too off
I think I
beat
watched
for
it
me.
once.
Yeah, he's too offbeat for me. Wasn't he with Drew Barrymore for a little while?
Yes,
Yes,
I believe so.
yeah.
He was a lucky man.
No, I'll say.
Right. Mick Foley is also headed to the state of California, the Golden State, this week for a comedy tour, Tuesday through Saturday, pre-SummerSlam. Pasadena, Ontario, and Ventura, California.
Yeah, he was just awarded a humanitarian award from Pasadena for his charitable contributions raising money for leukemia. And they gave him a nice ovation and an award. And the guy just does a lot of work. And if you read, especially his last book, Countdown the Lockdown, he is big into giving back, and he knows how fortunate he is. And Mama Foley's baby boy.
I wouldn't mind seeing his comedy routine.
I mean, it's not necessarily comedy. It's spoken, he just tells stories, and they are comedic, but they're just stories from the road. You know,
Right.
stories of his career and stuff. It's not like a stand-up like you would go see a Seinfeld or you know, a comedian per
Right.
se. You know, it's not joke. It's more stories, and they're
He's
humorous.
he's telling stories, and,
Right.
and the stories he tells are funny.
Right. Exactly.
We can all tell a lot of funny stories. I'm sure he has a good way of presenting it.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's always in New Haven,
Yeah.
coming over to that.
Yep.
The Joker's Wild.
Yep. Yeah. He's been quite around. I think he did the casinos a few times. So
Yeah, I know. I've heard him different places around here.
yeah.
He might have did one upstate too.
Yeah, Jericho has done a couple of those, you know, spoken word shows, where he just gets out and he talks, you know, about his wrestling career and stuff. Now he's got his podcast, so he gets a lot of that in during the podcasts. But it's you know, it's an inexpensive tour for a guy like Foley, him and a microphone, you
Right.
know? But you know, and you know, you can fill a room, a couple hundred people, and just, you know, tell stories, and you know, there's no production involved whatsoever.
Right.
So you know, it's all profitable.
He's a great author. I remember his first book that he wrote.
Yeah.
Just the way he described his whole. I mean, that
Right.
match with Vader and getting his
Right,
ear.
exactly. Yeah, and that's basically what he is. You know, the voice of Mick Foley. I mean, he's basically telling the same stories out of the books, you know, in person.
Right.
You know, so you're actually hearing it, and he's coming across, and they are comedic stories. You know, I mean, the wrestling world has a lot of comedy to it, whether intentional or not.
Right.
Mr. Sacco.
Yeah.
Mr. Sacco.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through the good times and the bad times on
Yeah.
the road.
Oh yeah.
Right, and it's nice to hear. Maybe other wrestlers will follow suit sooner
Yeah.
or later and start
Yeah.
doing things like that.
Yeah. If you listen to Talk is Jericho on Podcast One Network, it's a download for free. You know, Christian was on recently, and Christian had some great stories about meeting Bob Backlund, and you know, was being a big fan, and then Bob Backlund kind of blew him off, and then he met him years later when he was when Christian himself was in the WWE, and he reminded Bob Backlund, hey, when I was a kid, you kind of blew me off, and or was that Dreamer? I'm sorry, that was Tommy Dreamer. But long story short, you know, these guys are coming on the Jericho's podcast and telling these stories, and you know, it's no different than seeing them, you know, tell them on stage, and that's what Mick Foley's doing right now.
Speaking of Chris Jericho,
Yeah.
what did you think of the segment last night between him and Bray Wyatt?
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Just like the two of them face to face and look like a double sit down interview.
Yeah.
I thought Diane Sawyer was going to be in the room with them, or George Stephanopoulos.
Well, Jericho is definitely talented, and you know he's going to put him over, you know, because that's what he's there for. You know, Jericho has had his day in the sun, and now he's giving back. You know, he put over Fandango, for goodness sake. So if he's willing to put over Fandango, then he's willing to put
He's
over
got to be
almost
willing
anybody.
to put over Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. So I mean, Jericho knows who he is and what he is, and he's enjoying his life right now.
Right. Bray Wyatt, they have a lot of expectations for
Yeah,
him.
and he's riding really high with the latest Fozzy release. It's hitting all sorts of chart numbers on the iTunes charts, not only here but worldwide. And his song "Lights Go Out" is #1 in strip clubs right now. The strippers are loving the dancing to it.
What was it he said he was going to take the buzzers and shove them in his, shove them in his mouth?
That would be an interesting sight. To see him come out with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and try to shovel it.
Right.
Here's your buzzards.
Here's your buzzers.
Follow this. Yeah,
So yeah, Jericho's always fun.
always fun. All right, we got Summers. I got the updated. This is the official lineup of everything you're going to be seeing Sunday night at SummerSlam.
On the network for what?
$9.99.
Excuse me, I had a.
Did you see Hulk Hogan's cake last night? You know, usually you have, like, you know, how old the person is on the cake. Hulk Hogan turned $9.99.
He's 999 years old.
No, it was 9.99.
Wow.
So that's what it said on the cake. I don't know. Usually, you know, if somebody turns, you know, 5, 6 years old, you know, you got the number on the cake. His was 999. Bizarre.
Bizarre. Wow. He's been in wrestling that long.
He's moving like it.
I don't know. And apparently he wants to wrestle again, and that's another story.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
what he
God.
says.
Right.
He says he's got one more in him.
Got one more in him, huh?
Please, no.
No.
I'd love to see it, but I'm more worried about his safety
Right.
than me
Oh, yeah.
not wanting
you
to
know,
see it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anybody hurt
I mean,
themselves.
that was my thought last night when Lesnar came down to the ring with all them in
I
there.
thought for sure he was going to take a bump.
And I'm like, no, don't. And then,
Yeah.
of course, here's John Cena, superhero Cena to the rescue.
Right. And
Cena rescued Hogan. I don't believe it.
and the insanity
Since
was
when does Hulk Hogan need rescuing from anyone?
right, and the insanity was the entire roster standing on the, on the stage, and it took John Cena to run down and
I know.
for the
And
save.
everybody else is just standing there. And
Yeah,
not,
just standing there watching.
oh
him.
wow! Look, Brock Lesnar's coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, he's gonna beat us up because he's the Beast incarnate. Yeah, but there's like 20 of you.
Yeah.
It's simple math.
Right.
I don't care how big the guy is.
Yeah. It was kind of silly.
It was.
But the updated lineup, let's see. We're going to get our votes in and tally up and see if we were right or wrong next week.
Yep.
And anybody that wants to call us up at 907-0436, I got it right. I can read.
Yes.
That's great. Can call us up with their thoughts, and we'll all see if we were right or we were wrong.
Yep.
We'll start up with the Intercontinental title match for this year at SummerSlam. The Miz is the champion.
Yep.
The Miz is awesome. So he says, or was, or
Yes.
could still be. I don't know. Versus the show-off Dolph Ziggler.
Ziggler.
I'll pick the Miz.
I'll pick the Miz.
No, I say Ziggler.
You see Ziggler.
I'll pick the Miz.
They're going to keep it around for some reason. I don't know. I get the feeling they just don't like Dolph Ziggler.
Right. That's
That's why I'm saying
right.
that.
I think Ziggler's just never been in favor long enough with the front office to really get that push. And then he gets injured, and when they decide to do something with him, he gets injured, and it derails the whole situation. And
He's good at what he does, but what he needs to do is show up to work
yeah,
and keep going.
so I'll say the Miz. I think they're more behind the Miz than Ziggler.
Right. They're behind the Miz for now. He's coming off an actual legitimate movie role.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not a big one, but or what did he do? The Marine?
Marine
4.
Four or five?
3, 4.
5, isn't it?
I don't know how many Marines there are.
Yeah, there's so many. Cena did one, Orton did one, I don't know. Ted DiBiase did one.
Oh, Orton did 12 rounds. Yeah.
Orton did 12 rounds.
DiBiase did the Marine 2. So yeah, it's got to be the Marine 3 then. 4? Who did number 3? Oh, the Miz did 3. Oh,
They were asking me if I could do Marine 5, but I don't know. I got
4 or 5.
can't fit it in your schedule.
right, I know.
But moving on.
Moving right along here. The flag match. Jack Swagger, the All-American American, accompanied to the ring by Zeb Coulter, takes on we just can't say that anymore. Rusev.
Right.
I say Rusev. He's a big dude.
I say some shenanigans, and I'll take Swagger. Some sort of interference, but Swagger will win.
I say it's going to be a real good match. It's going to go on maybe longer than what they're saying. But I do say Rusev.
Yeah? All right. We'll split on that one.
I see possible interference from someone else.
Lana, maybe?
Lana or maybe they'll bring somebody else in that's supposed to be a Russian or
Vladimir Putin.
Right.
Vladimir Putin will come to the ring.
Yeah, I think this storyline should end right here, though.
The Lana Rusev.
Yeah, be done with it.
It's
it's-
kind of controversial.
Stale and boring.
I just say too controversial.
No, I mean, there's always been controversy, as Bischoff, controversy creates cash. So,
Right. It's something that they've always done. Anytime there's a crisis in the world,
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
he's got to always bring it into wrestling.
Right. I mean, there was an article on Kayfabe Kickout, and I commented on it that the controversy's always been there. You had Sergeant Slaughter, who's in the hospital for undisclosed reasons at the moment, and we wish him all the, to get well, all the luck in the world. But you had Sergeant Slaughter, turning into Colonel.
No. He was
Colonel
Sergeant Slaughter.
Mustafa.
He was Sergeant Slaughter, but he put a turban on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had Colonel Mustafa.
Colonel
with
Mustafa,
him.
Yeah.
right? And so
Who
he,
used-
he was the American traitor.
Colonel Mustafa was the Iron Sheik.
Right.
Yep.
And General Adnan.
Yeah. So I mean, you always had the politics in wrestling, and the evil bad guy. Whether it was the original Sheik or the Iron Sheik, and you always had like I said a couple weeks ago with the Canada, you had the Hearts that were the evil Canadians for a while, and then you had the Quebecers, you had the Rougeos, the French guys come in. So I mean, we've always had this, USA versus whomever, and Hacksaw was always a big part of it, coming out USA.
Right.
So I mean, it's nothing new, and everybody's
Who could ever forget this gimmick? Right after the September 11th terrorist attacks, we used to go to the same schools. We used to play at the same playgrounds.
Yeah.
We used to hang out together all the time. Mohammed Hassan.
yeah.
And his manager Devori and whatever he was saying.
So I mean, yeah, it's nothing new, and why everybody's freaking out over it, I just don't understand. It's a storyline on a wrestling show, on a fictitious show. It's a fictitious character. Lana's not really from Russia. I think she's from Florida, for God's sake.
Lana's from Florida. Rusev is really Bulgarian, like he
Right.
does.
It's a storyline, so
Right.
for everyone to freak out, and then, it's one of the few times that Vince has attracted the outside media. So it is what it is. It's just silly to get all overexcited about it,
Right.
Whatever
Your feelings are between that whole conflict in Russia, whatever.
Right.
Regardless. But if they pull the plug, it's probably because they feel it's a little too much
Right,
at the
right.
moment.
Right.
But I think it's gonna. I'm looking for more out of Rusev coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I hope they don't make him one of those guys that they're gonna turn him into a goof in another 6 months, and he's gonna get a title push, lose to superhero Cena, and he's gonna go back to the bottom of the card, and then he's gonna be dancing around the Great Khali, and they'll bring back Brodus Clay, and they'll form some kind of
I mean, he may end up going the route that Mark Henry did. I can see him doing the same, and then they give him a big push, and then he gets wiped out, and then he does some stupid stuff, and well, Mae Young's not around anymore, but
something like the sexual Russian or something.
Russian chocolate,
White
white Russian chocolate.
White
there
Russian,
you go.
there you go.
Rusev, the Russian ladies, man.
Right.
He dumps
Who
Lana.
Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I hope they don't give him some.
Maybe they could have a wedding between Lana and Zeb Coulter.
Oh my God.
I'm just thinking of these things.
You know what? Mark that on the tape, because you
Yeah.
know what? If that happens, you got to get credit
Right
for
here.
it.
Right here. Hollywood J. You heard it here.
Wow.
Maybe if that ever happens, it's because
Wait,
they heard me.
mark the
Right.
date and the time down.
Yeah, exactly.
Vince is going around. Gee, that kid, that's a great idea. I'm gonna use it right now.
The date and time on that?
Wow. All right,
Jerry,
okay.
get over here right now.
Oh man.
Listen to this. Yes, sir, Mr.
Moving
McMahon.
right along. Moving right along.
Moving right
We're
along.
never gonna get through this card.
This is the uncensored edition, folks.
Yeah.
The Divas title, Paige versus AJ Lee.
That's a tough one.
I say AJ Lee still.
AJ.
I'll keep the title with AJ Lee.
AJ.
I'll keep the title with AJ Lee. I think Paige will have her day.
I think they'll just keep this feud going for a while.
Yeah, and from the scuttlebutt backstage, Vince is not a big fan of Paige. So
Really?
yeah, for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. I don't know. I think she's I think she needs to go out tanning a little bit. I think she needs to hit the
Her and
beach.
Sheamus,
Yeah,
The perfect
that would be
couple.
a great couple,
The
right?
perfect couple
right.
right there.
the albinos.
The albino, they need to hit the beach once in a while, I
Right.
think. But she's got that goth look to her. I think maybe that's
Yeah.
right. She likes being that white-skinned look.
No. I don't know if she does it on purpose. I think that's just her complexion, just like Sheamus. But
Right. That's.
I don't think it's part of the gimmick.
she just can't tan.
It just is, right?
Right. You just will no matter how many hours she sits there on the beach, it just
Right.
Right. I'm gonna go with AJ on that one.
Yeah.
Just like like you guys say.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella.
Oh yeah.
Stephanie
yeah.
with some McMannequins.
I'll pick Brie.
I'll pick Stephanie.
I'll pick Brie to end the feud and be done with it.
I'll pick Stephanie to keep the feud going.
I don't know. I just think there's gonna be some McMannequins there.
Yeah.
That quote therapist unquote
Oh.
is actually
All
a
right.
wrestler.
Yes. And refresh my memory, fellas. Didn't we have this in TNA where there was a girl that was supposed to be pregnant by somebody, and it turned
Yes.
out everybody figured out she was an actress,
Yep.
and everybody.
She was supposed to be pregnant by AJ
AJ
Styles.
Styles. Yep.
Yeah. What was this girl's name again?
Oh my God, what was her name?
Anybody? Anybody?
You know something else?
What?
I think
She looks like her too.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I was gonna say that.
Am I wrong?
It looks almost like the same person.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
She looked just like her, and I'm thinking I just can't
I
place
can't
the
think
name
of the
because it
name.
was such a poor gimmick.
I can't think
And
of
then
her
everybody
name.
found out that she was actually an actress, and wasn't really wasn't really with AJ Styles and all that.
Jennifer.
And then they
something,
killed
I think.
they killed the gimmick right away. They
Yeah.
killed the storyline.
Right. I was kind of hoping that girl would have turned around and slapped Stephanie, and Brie would have been like, "Ha ha, I got you." That's
yeah.
not really what happened at all.
And of course, Brie went off in handcuffs.
Yes.
Again.
But
Again.
could the acting be any worse between Stephanie and that girl?
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh my! I've seen better acting at High School Musical.
Hey, our drama class I thought was really great.
That's what I'm saying. I said I've seen better acting at a High School Musical.
That was terrible.
Terrible. Stephanie wins. Who interferes?
I don't know.
What if Nikki
You're
turns? What if
saying-
Nikki turns on Brie?
Oh, sister versus sister now? No.
Oh no. No, I think either Triple H or one of his goons.
Well, she's a female.
No, well, it didn't stop Triple H last week, did it?
Nope.
With
No.
the desk?
Yeah.
Can't hit a woman, but you can block a woman.
Right.
Nothing.
In
Nothing.
a woman with a block? What?
Well, I didn't say that. Hey,
Oh. All right, moving on.
moving right along. Lumberjack match. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose, but I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that it's a lumberjack match.
Either way, I won't predict the winner. I would like to see it be a draw somehow. Either way, whatever the finish is, I hope the feud keeps going.
McMahon
Somehow
Feud's gonna keep going. I'm
continues on and on and on. And
Sure. It's not gonna go on forever.
I want it to go at least until WrestleMania. Yeah.
That's a long feud.
Yeah,
But
that's.
I mean, if you look at history, feuds lasted years. We've been conditioned for like a week. Claire Lynch. Thank you,
Claire
studio
Lynch.
audience. Claire Lynch was the storyline
Right.
in TNA. That's right. But no, I mean, if you recall, I mean, feuds went on for years. You look at these guys. You know, it was before. You know, every match was on TV. They would go from from town to town to town. You know, look at Pat Patterson's career. You know, and he would go around and just have the same match, and Jerry Lawler would have the same feud for a year. You know, going from town to town to town,
Of
fighting
course,
the same
people
guy,
are
back and
used
forth,
to
back
seeing
and
John
forth.
Cena versus Randy Orton. So what's the difference?
Right. You know, but I mean, just escalating the match and escalating it, and just the stipulations would get harder and harder, and it would finally culminate in the steel cage match. That was the blow off.
If they mix it up enough and they make it interesting enough,
Yeah.
it probably would be good. If you're just going to see these guys go out and just wrestle each other week after or pay per view after pay per view.
Well, I like the taunting, that's going on, and I like the in-ring action is really good between these two guys, and until they can come up with something significant for either one of them, I think it's a perfect match. These two guys can go at it, and like I said, just escalate the feud.
Escalate it to the point where the briefcase is on the line
Something major.
Yeah.
at WrestleMania
Yeah,
31,
something major.
where he's got to put that title shot on the line against Dean Ambrose.
I mean, they would go, like I said, they would go to a steel cage match. They would go to a hair match. They would go to a, end your career match. Something monumental. Mm-hmm. And we've gone so far away from that.
I'm going to blow up your house match.
That's not PG.
Well, and who was it? They put the services of Marlena on the line for a match.
Yep, I remember that.
Something significant. But I
maybe
want
if
to
one,
see.
maybe if one of them gets a manager,
Yeah,
Seth Rollins gets a manager.
something like that. But we'll see what happens. I'm really just looking forward to see these guys just keep butting heads.
They'll keep it going.
Yep.
They'll keep it going. I don't know if they'll keep it going to WrestleMania.
Or if Seth Rollins loses, he has to leave the authority.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
If Seth Rollins loses, he has to team back up with Dean Ambrose.
I don't know if you see him teaming
lame.
up. No,
That one's kind of lame.
I don't think you'll see him teaming up again.
If Seth Rollins loses, he has to do Dean Ambrose's laundry
he has to be his servant for a
for a
He's
month.
Virgil for a month.
That might be interesting. That would be comical a little bit too.
Right.
Moving right along. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. This is a good grudge match.
I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns.
Gotta go with Roman Reigns.
I'm going with Roman Reigns.
Gotta go with Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is the guy. Roman Reigns is getting the push.
If what we're saying earlier, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns has got to stay strong. He can't lay down for
For
Orton
anybody.
because it just kills his momentum.
Yep.
So somehow he's got to overcome that obstacle, and then somebody else has got to be the roadblock and get over that obstacle.
Now, once in a while, Randy has to lose.
all the way, yeah,
They have to realize that.
all the way leading up to his eventual face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So we got to go with Roman Reigns.
Absolutely, Roman Reigns all
I'm
the
going
way.
with Roman Reigns. And finally, the WWE title on the line. Saw all the hype, all the build-up last night. It's Brock's house now. Brock's going, I'm taking my client out to dinner. We're going to be back home later on. Cena in there. I'm in your living room, bro.
Yeah. It was one of the better Cena promos, I thought. But
Cena making reference to people wanting him. When are you going to turn?
yeah, yeah,
That was pretty funny coming out of his mouth.
yeah. But it was. I didn't. I don't see where everybody's hating on Cena. I'm not saying that I'm the biggest Cena supporter, but I just don't see where the hate comes in. He's obviously making money for the company. He's the top merch draw. Somebody likes him if they're buying the merchandise. Even if they're buying it just to burn it,
Right.
they're spending money on the guy.
They buy all the senior merchandise up. Wouldn't it be funny if it all goes into this big bonfire?
They did
We
that.
can't see you.
They did that with disco records, Hey, as long as they were buying them, right? They don't care what you do with them.
Right.
But, we already touched upon it. Brock Lesnar's got to get over to get the belt in order to hold it for Roman Reigns. So
Brock.
I'll go with Brock.
I'll go with.
Brock Nation against Best Friends.
I'll go with Brock.
Yeah.
I'll go with I hope Brock.
Well, if he doesn't get it at this one, he's going to have to get it. Between now and WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar's got to get the belt in order to defend it.
In order to defend the belt, he's got to
Against
walk in
Roman Reigns.
being the champion.
So,
My client, Brock Lesnar,
yeah.
will conquer John Cena.
Your
I'll
client.
go with that.
Brock Lesnar
Not that I want to see it,
is
but
a cage fighting carnivore.
You know what he reminds me of? Brock Lesnar.
what's
Oh.
that?
Remember Moose from the Archies?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't really recall.
Moose.
Moose.
Yeah. You remember Reggie and Jughead? Moose was like the football player, the dumb
Okay.
jock,
All right.
going out with Midge.
That's Brock Lesnar. Moose.
Yeah.
And is advocating Jew.
Yeah. Who said that?
Paul Heyman.
Did he say that?
He called himself Brock's advocating Jew.
Okay.
Hey,
I didn't catch that.
I
Did
didn't
you?
catch that.
Oh. I didn't catch that.
Quite sums it up.
That's okay.
It's okay.
He can say that.
He can say that.
Because nobody else can say it.
Right.
Right.
He's an advocate.
Right.
He's a hey.
Smart guy.
Smart guy.
Get that DVD. The DVD you saw it.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
The only thing that he didn't touch on, since you mentioned it, was the anti-Semitism that he has faced throughout his career. But being that it's a WWE production, they probably had him shy away from that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have seen and read and heard him talk about it. That you know, especially the down south territories that he was dealing with.
Oh yeah, WCW.
They don't love us down there.
Paulie Dangerous.
But it is what it is.
Southern folk.
Yeah.
Good old
You
Southern
can't change
folk.
people's hearts.
Phones are quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Where's everybody?
Yeah. Hey, I did have some pictures. We have a moment to get to some.
Want to take a break from the news? Get some pictures. Let's get to some pictures.
Yeah, we only have 20 minutes left. We got any pictures up there, Mr. Nick? There we go. Who's that? Who's that funny character?
That looks like one of the bushwhackers.
Bushwhacker Luke, choking my son out.
Getting choked out, huh,
Getting
Dylan?
choked out. And that's my wonderful friends at Fox Sports. We went to Atlanta to the Braves game. We went to Miami, and we also went to Tampa. Happens to be in Atlanta at Turner Field. And the people at Fox Sports couldn't have been nicer to us. We got to go on set with them. Dylan got behind one of their cameras. And
Can't be as good as this. If it's
well, you know what?
There.
Well, it's professional, HD.
No cell phones.
No, yeah, I don't see any cell phone footage on Fox Sports, but these guys are wonderful. They couldn't, and like I said, all three stadiums. We visited Hogan's Beach Shop.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan wasn't there, but his
Yeah.
autograph and his memorabilia was. And
That's in Miami.
that was in Clearwater,
Clearwater.
and that's the statue out front, which looks more like Paul from Great American Choppers. What?
I was gonna say American Choppers.
Yeah,
Yep.
Orange County Choppers or American Choppers?
American.
And there's Bushwhacker Luke with Jacob Gold.
Jacob Gold, huh?
Yeah, that's his name. That's my boy.
That's
And
him.
there we are again.
Here we are again.
But
Speaking of footage, if I can get some of this, I have a confession to make, guys.
oh,
I can't very well take one of our high-depth cameras onto a beach now, or into a bar area. So I did use, but I'll have you know, that's the best cell phone out there. I went looking
yeah.
for the monkey.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went in search of him.
Uh-oh.
Did you try the zoo?
Call the zoo!
Right.
Well, I got a muffled phone call, and is that Saru wants you start heading towards Rhode Island.
Oh. So, do we have footage?
I don't have
what are we
it's,
getting
it's
at?
in there.
Oh,
has
I thought
to-
we were going to show it. Oh,
I
I thought we were going to break precedent and show.
I'm gonna attempt to get that out of there.
Okay.
There's a lot of codes out there. I can't guarantee we're ever gonna be able to put it on, but we're really gonna try.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what we can do.
Well, the heat between you and Saru it continues on, and
I never found him.
Well, he's got your number, Jay.
I found one. I think he might own this place. It's called the Purple Ape.
Purple Ape. I remember Grape Ape.
Great, babe.
Purple
I
Ape.
remember Grape Ape, but Purple Ape.
You've never been to Musquamacut Beach before?
No. No, there's no ballpark there, so I wouldn't go.
Westerly, Rhode Island.
No.
There's a shop there called the Purple Ape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can rent jet skis out of there.
Oh, wow.
And what was this picture you posted on my wall, Mr. Zimmerman?
What's that?
The gay dolphin?
The Gay Dolphin. Yeah, well, that was
Hey.
down in, that was at South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. They have the Gay Dolphin. I figured you're a Dolphins fan, so
The
thought of you.
Dolphins.
Thought of you.
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
One person we're not going to see at SummerSlam, we're not going to see pretty much anywhere anymore in the WWE, is Alberto Del Rio.
Ah.
He was released due to unprofessional conduct last Thursday, and after an altercation with an employee of theirs. Did not offer any further details. It didn't even wish him well on his future endeavors.
I was quite
You
surprised when I
can't really
heard
call it being future endeavored if they're not wishing you well on your
Right,
future
right.
endeavors.
And
I
of
guess.
course, Ricardo is gone too.
Ricardo was gone
Yeah.
because of the
yeah.
cuts.
Cost-cutting measures, yeah.
Right.
Well, Del Rio, I mean, that opens up a lot of cash,
Mm.
which is a good thing. Speaking of opening up a lot of cash, some new revenue coming in. As we speak, the WWE Network has gone global.
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 We're talking 170 countries. I have to find out what exactly those countries are.
170. So, I mean, excluding the UK, which goes in October, I believe.
Right.
So 170 countries worldwide, the WWE Network. I forget what the price point was, but we shall see how many subscribers between now and SummerSlam.
Is it going to bring that stock back up?
Stock went up,
It
went up a penny today. It went up a penny. I made some money today.
It went up.
Yes, it did go
A
up.
penny is a penny.
A
You know
penny's a
that.
penny. That's right.
How do you
Times-
think this is going to affect their server now? Do you think they're going to have any issues on the server?
No, I think I don't think we're going to see the problem that we had when the initial launch in the United States happened. I would hope that they were prepared for it and turned out any glitches, but we shall see.
Did they roll out all 170 countries in one day?
Yes, today it went global. I'm sure time zone difference and what have you
Right.
did make up for some of the issues, but hopefully they'll hit that million subscriber plus mark that they're looking for, and the company will come back and start making.
So now
Making some
whether
profit.
or not you're in Chicago or you're in your hut in Zimbabwe or
Yes.
you're somewhere in South America, you
Yep.
can watch the network
Yes, you can watch the network
For
live.
$9.99.
or
Well,
whatever
I'm
that
sure the exchange rate- yeah, the
whatever that
exchange rate's gonna be
translates
different.
into your currency wherever you
Right.
are.
Yeah. The currency and the exchange rate is going to be interesting.
I know, because I know they come up with this great catchphrase, right?
Yeah, and even the hashtag 999.
A hashtag, and they can't even use it globally
Right. Right.
because we're not all under one currency, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Pretty soon,
According to Star Trek, you give it about 150 more years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all going to be one big happy
Credits.
family.
Yeah. We'll see about that. Galactic credits.
Right.
I wouldn't count on that anytime soon. But we'll see. See what happens. But I'm really hoping that subscriber rate goes up and my stock goes up.
Hope so.
Yeah.
A penny is a penny, you know?
Hey, yeah.
And every penny counts, right,
That's
John?
right. That's right.
That's right. Next week it'll be a nickel.
I hope so.
And
I hope
the
it
week
gets up
after
to
that,
30
it'll
bucks
be a
like it
du-
was.
Then the week after that, it'll go up a dime.
Hey, why not?
You're moving up in the world,
As long as it's going in the up direction
and not the down. Well,
and not a downward
you can't
spiral.
go any further than below a penny, right? There's no half
Well,
penny.
the country would, the company would be out of business if it goes down below a penny.
Yep.
We don't want that. Instead of having some bad news, I got some good news.
Yes.
This is real good news. I'm happy to have some good news. How's that? The home invasion of WWE stars Daniel Bryan and Nikki Bella last month has led to the arrest of a group of Phoenix area burglars. According to a Wire report, Phoenix police arrested 3 individuals last Wednesday believed to be linked to the Bryan residence burglary.
Wow.
Wow.
So, well, you got a high-profile guy like Daniel Bryan living in
Right.
in the city, and
Right.
it's all over the local news, and they're talking about it all the time,
Yeah.
which I'm sure, if it was any of our media outlets up here in Connecticut, I know they would
Yeah.
all the time. And so that's more why it's not what I'm not criticizing.
Well,
the
Daniel
policing or-
Daniel Bryan did subdue
right?
one of the invaders, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. They actually had one of the guys,
Right.
involved. But
What they do,
ironically,
go, talk,
Right.
talk.
did you commit this crime? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Are you going to jail?
Yes.
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 But no, seriously, it's weird that Daniel Bryan got injured and was home, because had he not been injured, he would have been on the road, and this possibly they would have gotten away with it because he wouldn't have been home.
Yeah, he would have came home and had nothing there.
Yeah.
They
Strangely
made him
enough.
the whole house. He might have came home. There would have been a foundation there.
Strangely enough, yeah. So it's just strange how things work
work
out.
out, yeah.
Right. Things happen for a reason. That's
Yep.
what they always say.
Yep. But
So-
thank goodness nobody got hurt. Because goodness me, somebody broke into George Harrison's house and stabbed him in the neck, for goodness sake. A few years back. And it's strange. Things happen. And unfortunately, our economy is leading desperate people to do desperate things.
It's sad.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody should have to resort to that ever.
Nope.
No reason for it. So but this is he could probably do some commercials for the alarm companies too. And, make sure you have an alarm. 'Cause
Probably
if you have
see
an
that,
alarm,
yeah.
this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Got to make time for that.
Yes. We have worst of the week.
We have
Are we
worst
almost
of
to
the
that
week.
point?
We are to that point.
Yes.
We flew right by this news already, just like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been a really quick hour.
Are you ready? I gotta hum it because I don't have the organ music, but
Right.
whatever.
I heard you play the organ pretty well.
Hey now.
Hey now. Anyway.
Anyway, here we go. Bronze goes to kayfabenews.com.
Not kayfabe kickout, mind you.
Kayfabe News.
News.com.
Not the one you're associated with.
Correct.
Another one that reported the following. WWE has released Vince McMahon, and they wish him well on his future endeavors. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I knew right away when I saw it. I said, "This is a joke." I thought it was funny, especially the way it ended
Yeah.
with Triple H saying,
It was
"It's
best for
what's
business.
best for
Yeah.
business."
Yeah.
Creative had nothing for him. It was just what was best for
Right.
business.
Right. You're not going to get rid of the guy that owns 57% of your company.
Heck no.
Yeah, right.
Heck no.
I think that would be a good gag for Vince McMahon.
Yeah, if they did
A
it,
hidden camera
if
joke.
they did it on the air and they did it in the storyline, and Mr. McMahon came out and got future endeavor, that would be funny.
Right.
That would be really
Or
funny.
a hidden camera joke like the MTV show Punked.
Punked, yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
the whole board sitting there.
Which,
with
ironically enough, CM Punk and Punked. They got
Right.
Punked. That would be interesting.
Right, it would be.
It all ties in.
Just to see to look at, what do you mean?
Right. Now,
Vince McMahon.
right. If the Mr. McMahon character was still on screen, and a weekly thing, and Triple H came out and future endeavored him for cost-cutting measures, and it's best for business, that would be hysterical.
I think so.
Yeah.
But for these guys to report that it's an actual news story,
I
to make it look
knew right away. I said, "This is
Yeah.
a gag."
It was fun. It was funny, but yet stupid. At
You
the
saw
same time.
you saw that our friend Jordan even commented on it.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, our former host.
Former co-host
Yep.
here. Right.
Yep, he used to sit in your spot.
Yes.
He got future endeavor.
Yeah, future endeavors.
We love you, Jordan.
We love
We're
you,
just
Jordan.
Kidding. We're just kidding.
Runner-up goes to Hulk Hogan I know. Happy birthday, sir. Don't get me wrong. But really, one more match. Just do yourself a favor.
You know
We'd
what?
love to see you, but
Stay home and eat your vitamins and say your prayers.
Yeah.
exactly. And be thankful for the fact that you can walk and you can,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you're able to move around
Right.
decently, you
Right.
know.
And he's got his faculties about him, you know. So all those bumps that he took, you know. And I'm sure he's had his share of concussions over the years.
And he says he feels fine. Well, yeah, because you haven't wrestled in a long time.
Right.
Now you get in that ring and the bell rings. We'll see if you're fine after the match is over.
How many just spinal surgeries alone has this guy had?
Mm.
You know, I mean, he's probably spent as many hours on the operating table as he has in the ring by at this point.
Right. But the worst of all, I've got to say for this week, I don't know whose idea it was, and I feel bad for the guy. And he's been one of the longest tenured employees of the WWE, and it's sad to see him go. A guy named Mark Eaton, he was one of their timekeepers.
Yeah.
Very, very famous, Mr. Eaton, for throwing beers to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
At the end of every Raw or SmackDown or pay-per-view
Right,
where he was doing his
Yep.
drinking thing.
Yeah, and he had pretty good aim too.
He did, and it's sad that things.
Well, you know, I hear the Yankees are looking for starting pitchers, so
Yeah, they could use him.
they can use this guy.
Maybe the
Right.
Red Sox
Or he
too.
could be tossing beers at Yankee Stadium at $12 a pop.
Well, the Red Sox could use him too.
Yeah,
Look what they
definitely.
just did with their pitching.
Oh my goodness, they decimated their roster.
Right, but it's sad to see him go.
But yeah, you know, I mean, he can pitch a few beers, you know, at $12, $13 a pop at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
You know, I'm sure he'll make a good living on it.
So whoever's idea that was, you're the worst of the week.
Yeah. Well,
Kick the
like
guy
I
to
said,
the
he's
curb
one of the longest tenured employees there.
And
so-
that makes it. It's kind of scary. I
yeah.
hope things
Well,
turn
you're at the
around.
top of the you're at the top of the pay scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's time to go.
Definitely.
Unfortunately,
Hey, what are you gonna do?
it's best for business.
Hopefully everything works out. Things to remind everybody of: PWA tour September 21st and the 27th in Hamden at the Balcony Banquet Facility.
They're in Hamden at Hamden Hall this Saturday with the Connecticut Chiefs. I believe bell time is 3 o'clock. You're going to see some wrestling matches before the football game, and you're going to see the first half of football, and then back to the wrestling matches at halftime.
Yep.
So Hamden Hall, not too far from here. Saturday, I believe at 3 p.m. Kids 16 and under are free.
Great.
And of course, I don't go anywhere unless it's free, according to some people.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Ring of Honor this Friday. Field of Honor in Brooklyn. Don't forget that, all you ROH fans. And something everybody has to remember, our guests last week, they debut tomorrow, 8 p.m. for all you Uverse subscribers.
Double Trouble.
Channel 99. Go down to Brantford Community Television. It's the debut of Double Trouble, starring Bad News Bob and Mr. Mike Cuomo,
And they
covering everything from current events to illegals jumping the fence.
And they will be on next Tuesday, prior to us, on Talking with Tom.
With myself and Ed McCarver.
That's right.
Great.
So Tom doing double duty next week. I have to say that we didn't receive a call from Bill from North Haven tonight because he has arrived
In our
finally.
studio
And
audience.
the
our
11th
studio.
hour as we're ready to head off the air, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good night and good luck.
See you next Tuesday.
See you
See you next Tuesday.